So most people cram 3 meals a day or more into their bodies, and experts are constantly giving different advice about which foods and diets that you should be choosing. So to what extent will foods that you eat actually have an impact on your health? That's the big question, right? Dr. Jeffrey Morrison is a physician and a nutritionist based here in New York City, and she's joining us now to sort of clarify this stuff. We hear a lot of stuff about food. Food is medicine. Food will, increase the length of your life, the quality of your life. But then we all know somebody who drinks, smokes, treats their body horribly, and they seem to just sort of keep on keeping on, right?
Yep.
So let's just get back to basics. What are the basic food and lifestyle choices you can make that will improve your health?
The most important thing is to recognize that there's got to be some balance. And there's a concept called biochemical individuality, which means that there are some people that will do well with eating 3 large meals a day, and some people will do better with 5 small meals a day.
Okay.
Now, the question is who is that person? And really, it's good to work with a nutritionist to go through the process of understanding what your metabolic needs are. And at our office, we believe that when working with a nutritionist, we can really dig deep down into what exactly is what's helping with your metabolism.
Oh, so that's very interesting, because we've heard before that really this idea of 3 meals a day, we shouldn't be eating like that. It should be 6 or 7 tiny meals a day. But then I hear people who do this intermittent fasting and they eat 1 meal and then they starve themselves for like 12 hours. Is there science to back up any of that?
Well, there's lots of science out there.
Yeah.
And in fact, there's always new data coming out that we're able to report on. But it's so specific for each individual. We kind of like to give people a general idea about how to figure out their metabolic type based on kind of their body, how their body looks. So we look at people almost like Ferraris and some people like Mercedes. And the Ferraris have very, very fast metabolisms, and generally they'll go through calories very quickly. So they need to eat small, frequent meals during the day. Whereas the Mercedes kind of can like roll over any bump in the road and just keep on going.
Right.
Generally, they don't need to eat so often, maybe 2 or 3 times a day.
There are all these companies that have popped up that, check your DNA and they'll tell you what the right diet is. But you're saying it doesn't have to be that complex. You can sort of look at somebody's body type and determine a lot.
Oh, I really believe that having a conversation with a person can really give a lot of information about who that person is. DNA testing is great, and it's going to have a lot of potential for the future, but really get down to basics and just talk to a person and find out what's right for them.
Yeah, it's not always so complicated, right?
Exactly, it's simple.
So what about all these superfoods? There's literally a new one every 2 weeks or so. Some of them are common. It's something we've been drinking, like coffee, and now suddenly it's a superfood, and some of them are really exotic. You've never heard of them before. Is there anything to this superfood hype?
Well, there's a lot to superfood hype, but think of superfoods more like condiments. They shouldn't be like the main part of the meal. It should be like a side dish. And when we're talking about all these great, amazing superfoods, like chocolate can help lower blood pressure, and acai berry, which helps with longevity, and there's always a new one coming out. But we like to have a little bit of each one sometimes during the day,
right?
But not the main part of the meal.
Right. Is it about calories?
Well, calories are always an important part of the conversation, but again, some people have faster metabolisms than others. So for some people, they have to eat more calories in order to fuel their engine.
Right. So not all calories aren't the same to all individuals, all people.
And certainly certain foods have higher caloric content than others. So we like calorie-rich foods,
right,
like whole grains and whole beans rather than processed foods.
Yeah.
And that's always still like a very good rule to follow.
So what I'm getting from you is that everybody's different, and you should really talk to an expert and find out how you're different.
And yes, we believe in speaking with a nutritionist who's well trained in this type of, in how to figure out what's right for your body type.
Dr. Morrison, thank you.
Thank you.
Brought to you by Polident and Super Polygrip.